Hello and welcome everybody to today's live commodity market analysis with the Gold and Silver Club, of course presented by myself, Phil Carr. So during today's session, we will be covering live market analysis. We will go through how we expect the markets to move, a watch list of trading opportunities, an overview of the commodity markets, and of course we'll go through our top trades of the week as well. So just before I get started, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We are regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading. As internationally respected experts, our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agricultural markets, they are routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has trained and mentored over 125,000 private traders from all over the world to increase their wealth and generate substantial income through commodities using our exclusive research-driven strategies. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, feel free to visit our website, which is at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so with that, we will get straight into it. And I think it's important that we understand where we are this week in context to the moves that we've seen in the market. So the biggest upside that we've seen over the course of this week has been in WTI crude oil, which is up now over 5%. Palladium is up just under 5% as well. Brent crude oil for the week is up 4.5%. Cotton, we've also seen a considerable surge here, 4% so far this week. And other markets which have pulled back and sold off include sugar, which has broken down just under 6% this week, and cocoa, which broke down to 3-year lows, breaking down over 2.5%. Now, as we go through the markets, we do some analysis and we look at where we want to position ourselves moving forward as we transition towards the rest of November, as we go into December, and of course, as we go into 2017 as well. It's important to understand where we are at this stage in terms of the markets year to date. So right now, we can see, particularly with the commodities that we track, Palladium has had a big move over the month of November. In fact, it's moved up over 13% this month, and it's now the third best performing market this year, up over 27%, taking over silver now. In next place is sugar, which was previously actually the best performing commodity of 2016. It was very recently up over 45% this year. It's recently had a corrective pullback, which I'll talk you through on the chart. Silver at the moment still up 21%. It's had quite a significant correction following on from Brexit and also following on from the US election, where we saw initial spike to the upside, which then ended up being a bull trap, and we subsequently saw another big move lower for both gold, which broke down 9% since the US election, and silver as well. But silver remains up 21% this year. Coffee is up 16%, and gold at the moment is just up under 15%. And other big movers over the month of November have been copper, which is now back up 14% this year. It's been up over 10% this month in November, and cotton, which has increased quite significantly, 4% this week, and it's up over 11% so far this year. So with that said, we'll use that information, of course, to go through the markets. We'll go through some live analysis here. So first of all, I'll take you out to the US dollar index, and we can see on the US dollar right now, we have broken again. We've come right back up for a retest of the 1-year highs here. We've recently broken out to the highest levels, really going back to about March 2015. So it's about 18-month highs that we've broken out to on the US dollar. A lot of this move has come off the back of the US election last week, where, of course, Donald Trump has won and is now the president-elect. And with that, we have seen a big surge in the US dollar. That was obviously a big whipsaw in price, where we initially saw the US dollar sell off, and then we saw a huge move to the upside. Same with the stock markets, where we initially saw a knee-jerk reaction, sell off, and then as soon as Donald Trump gave his speech in the morning, we saw the markets calm down, and we saw big moves in the opposite direction. The US dollar surging, stock market surging, breakdown in gold, in silver, in platinum. So with that in mind, what can we expect next? Well, right now, the US dollar is sitting right around its 15-month high, or 18-month highs, excuse me, at the moment. Janet Yellen is due to give testimony this afternoon, I believe in just approximately 1 hour, 1 hour's time, which will give us more clarity regarding a December interest rate, which we're very interested to find out what her position is on that and to see what the testimony reveals. So we'll be watching that carefully this afternoon. Also, if we go over to some other markets where we're looking for trading opportunities, platinum is one which I would have on the radar right now. Platinum has been ranging now for the last 3 days, support at 920, resistance at 950. I would like to see whether we get a breakout from this zone. We seem to have a double bottom potentially in play right now. So I'm looking for that as a trading opportunity. Now, I'll just take you over to Palladium, which has had quite a significant move over the last week. Palladium has gained over 10%. And you can see where we had a very similar move in terms of the trade setup. We reached the double bottom here, previous resistance turned into support. We formed a consolidation, a box. And then since then, we've broken out quite considerably. We're back up to the 720 zone here with Palladium. We've just seen consecutive moves higher here over the last week and a half, back towards the highs. Look how quickly, within about a week and a half, this was actually the move last Monday. So we got this breakout last Monday, and we're now on Thursday. So just over a week here, a week and a half, we have seen Palladium manage to rally. If we go down to the lows to the highs here, we've rallied over 1,200 points. That's been significant, and now we're back up to resistance overbought condition around the 730 zone. So I would like, ideally, to see a similar move here on platinum if platinum has got the legs behind it to actually follow through and manage to build up some support and breakout from the 920 zone. So we'll be watching that carefully this afternoon. I do see this as the potential for a buy opportunity, but we might see again another flushing out around the 920 zone before it can do that. Ideally, even if it came back as low as the 900 zone, 900 US dollars per ounce, that could also be quite a nice area to look for trading opportunities. So I'm watching platinum carefully. If it breaks above 950, 955, I am interested. Excuse me. I am interested in a potential long. I'll be looking for a break of this previous support zone, turn resistance. You can see we got support going back in the chart, going back to September, October 2015, more recently in February. So this is a major zone for platinum. I do quite like the price structure of that at the moment. So I'm looking for a trading opportunity on platinum right now. This is just breaking it down into the daily time frame here. And you can see what we're looking at ultimately, major level of underlying support at the moment. And I'd like to see whether we can break above the last 3 days worth of highs, which would then produce a trading opportunity. Now, if we move over and we have a look at, certainly we want to just have a look at gold, silver, where they're sat at the moment in context to the moves we've seen on the US dollar so far. So actually, I've drawn it out all here, what we're essentially looking for potentially. This is gold at the moment, and we seem to be getting a very shallow retracement right now, which I'm watching to see whether this is just a bear flag formation, shallow retracement only to get sold back into for another leg lower. I'm wary of this level at the moment, below around the 1200 level, a bit suspect of this level as being a support zone at the moment. I suspect that if we can flush out this zone around the 1200 level and get a breakdown to around the 1180 zone, that could provide actually a really good buying opportunity. There will be a lot of stop losses on gold sitting below 1200. If we take out that zone of support, we could see a bit of a waterfall moment where we probably will see a lot of stop losses, the same as we saw when 1300 was taken out. And from there, that could actually provide potentially a good opportunity. Now, we are seeing at the moment the prospect of an interest rate hike in December getting priced into the markets. US dollar continues to rally on the verdict with Trump just winning the election. So with that, we have seen a lot of bullish sentiment on the US dollar. It is overbought, but right now it doesn't seem to have really the fundamentals to cause a sell-off right now. They're very much in favor of the US dollar at the moment, and we've seen continued strength even over this afternoon. Again, we've seen the US dollar surging back towards the 15-month highs there. So you can see at the moment sitting around the 100 level. We'll watch that carefully. If we can break out above that zone, close above it, there's more downside from the metals. If we just halt at this zone, start to reverse, maybe it's a bull trap, temporary break above resistance, then a reversal, then of course we look for support for the metals and ideally look for a platinum trading opportunity there as well. So just going back to gold right now, what are we looking at the moment? Well, I wouldn't buy gold right now at 12.25 neutral, just sitting on our hands, waiting to see whether we'll get a better opportunity to actually add a position. Short term might be a bit more bearish here. We might see a move back towards the 1200 zone. If we do take out that level again, I suspect there's a lot of stops below this zone, which will get flushed out on a break below that. We could get a break below it and then a capitulation, which then would give a great trading opportunity. My indicators do suggest that we could get more downside, that rallies will get sold into on gold and silver at the moment, but we'll see how this develops over the course of the US session this afternoon. Silver is also in a very similar situation right now, where silver has been consolidating after this big leg to the downside, following on from the US election here, where we've seen a breakdown in price back down to $17 per ounce. Now, in terms of major buy zones for silver right now, I would be interested, certainly if it was to move down to $16, between $16 to about $16.50 per ounce at the moment would be a zone which I'd be very interested in, particularly if we just get a further flush out of the longs here, which a lot of those will be sitting from the previous breakouts going back to May and June, which was support just prior to Brexit. If we do get further follow through, note we've broken below support, but we keep closing back above the $17 per ounce zone. I'm watching as well to see whether this pennant formation, which is in development at the moment on silver, whether we get a resolution of that. So if I just show you on my daily chart here, if we go over and just have a look at this pennant formation, which is in development, I'm very simply looking to see if we're going to break out to the upside, which I think will be a shallow rally, to be honest. If we do get a move up to that level, we'll probably just see a move up to around the 1740, maybe as high as the 1770 zone within this region. But then I would be wary of potentially seeing rallies get sold into. But by its nature, a pennant formation like this should break out reasonably well once it picks a direction, either for the sellers or the buyers here. But at the moment, with a strong US dollar, it's more inclined to go down than to go up, unless the US dollar has reached its top here for the short term. It is oversold, but the US dollar can stay in an oversold condition for quite a long duration before it finally has a correction. The US dollar typically will have a slow grind higher day in, day out, day in, day out, and then eventually you'll suddenly see one big day of corrective moves, and on that day you'll see a big spike on the opposite direction on the metals and other commodities, which tend to be inversely priced against the US dollar. So maybe there is a short-term trading opportunity here for silver from a breach of this pennant formation. I would say there are better markets to look at right now. Certainly platinum, I would keep that on your radar at the moment. As I mentioned before, sugar has been quite interesting over the last weeks, gone from one of the best performing commodities this year to have a reasonable correction, which we were expecting here on sugar. We broke out to the 4-year highs at 24. We've had a V-shaped reversal pattern, broken previous resistance, turned support at 21. We seem to be coming back down to the 20 zone right now. There is a little bit of underlying support at this zone at the moment, so I'm watching this. Sugar, I would like to pick up additional buying opportunities. I would like to get involved if I see another setup here, but for me, it's not ready at the moment. It is coming back down to the 20 level. If we can get some sort of confirmation that buyers are coming in at that zone, it's getting oversold, I would be interested in sugar, but it needs to consolidate, give us some sort of a trade setup. We are coming into a trend channel here, so we'll watch that closely, but this is what we suspected. We did suspect that sugar was going to break down, reverse, and then start to follow through, and it's come back down to the levels we've been looking at. Cotton, we've caught the majority of this breakout over the last week. It's been quite lucrative here on cotton to trade this move to the upside. We got a nice surge above this pennant formation earlier on in the week. That's continued to follow through, over 250 points so far. We're up on the trade, so that's been a nice move. We're actually just taking advantage of seasonal factors here, increased demand for cotton at this time of year as we go into the holiday season. We've broken out this pennant formation, so that's been a good trade over this week. Certainly we've taken advantage of that. Also on oil, that has been nice to just trade the bear trap, that we got here earlier on in the week. So we saw oil break down below major support at $43 per barrel, only to then reverse after it just clipped some of these stops, no doubt, around this level of support, reversed and then produced a setup. We just took that back towards resistance for a nice 200-point move there. We have the potential for a new trading opportunity here. We're monitoring this. We've got the OPEC meeting, which is coming up on the 30th of November, which I would suggest will be a catalyst for some big moves here. Usually good follow through. Last year's OPEC meeting on the 4th of December 2015 then caused a 1,500 point drop in oil prices in the subsequent month, where we broke down to 12-year lows. It can be a very explosive trading opportunity. So I will be looking at that towards the end of the month, which is only really about 13 days away now for the next big trade here. At the moment, I would suggest on the weekly chart, we do seem to be forming some support at the 43 zone. You've got a bullish engulfing candle here as well, which is essentially a bear trap, trapping sellers who've gone in for a break of support. Reversing here, looks like if we close with this formation, by the end of the week, you've got quite a lot of levels of confluence here. Very clear trend channel. You've also got a nice underlying horizontal. So this is totally raw chart, but you can see, build out the picture here. You've got also nice underlying support around the 43 zone. And then what we could look at would be the potential to take this on a weekly chart basis back towards resistance, to take that for a trade back towards the 50 zone. Now, whether that follows through or not, we'll have to see. We'll see how oil closes the week. It still has the potential to roll over, come back down to the lower end of the trend channel, or just consolidate within this area over the next few days. We'll see. We'll see whether it's got the legs to continue to follow through. Certainly, if we close the week with this formation right now on the chart, I would expect the potential to break above that next week and follow through. And we could look for another surge back towards the 48 to 50 zone. So I would keep an eye on that for oil at the moment. Oil certainly very lucrative. Day-to-day moves are, of course, very liquid on oil. It's the #1 most heavily traded commodity in the world. Okay, so certainly keep an eye on oil as well. Other markets which are on our watch list at the moment, cocoa's been quite interesting from the point of view, it broke down to 3-year lows this week. I'm looking for some sort of reversal pattern, V-shaped reversal here once it just runs out of sellers. At the moment, it's still pretty bearish. It's at the 2375 zone. We're back at a previous level of resistance turning into support. Monthly chart, you've got this level, major level, but right now it's not really giving me the confirmation I'd like to see. Maybe what we'll see is another shakeout lower, just another breakdown in price before we get some sort of V-shaped reversal pattern. On a weekly basis, you've got a 3 black crows formation, which basically would normally mean that by the time the 3rd black crow is done here, you would get some sort of additional follow through, then a reversal, and then a V-shaped reversal pattern back to previous support, which then could turn into resistance. But we could look for a retracement of that move. So certainly, I do think there's some good trading opportunities at the moment. If you caught the Palladium move over the last week, well done. That's been a great trade for us here from a breakout of this box consolidation. It's been a big move up over 17% this month so far, Palladium. So incredible move back towards the highs here. Would have platinum on your watch list. Gold and silver a bit flat right now, not too much going on those markets. I would also just keep an eye out for the grains as well. I do see a trading opportunity in development at the moment, just on the grains in particular. Wheat right now is just consolidating at a major underlying area of support around the 390 level. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that too. Okay, fantastic. So with that, I would just go over to our portfolio performance over the last week, just break it down for you in terms of our top trades. Our top trades this week have included palladium, they've included cotton, and also oil. So first of all, oil, we benefited from a 200-point breakout earlier on this week from Tuesday. This was pretty quick after we developed a bear trap. Nice shoot higher here, back to resistance, banked that trade in less than 24 hours. Cotton here, we've now had a breakout from the pennant formation, good follow through, up over 250 points, continue to hold partial profits on this trade right now. So we continue to hold on the rest, on the remainder of this trade. And palladium too has had a significant breakout since our entry, taking the breakout from the 640 zone here, rallying now over 620 points. In fact, it's gone on to rally more now at the 720 zone, but we're happy with a 620 point gain on palladium. So of course, if you would like access to highly profitable live trade ideas shared with you, ready to implement for instant results, do make sure you go across to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. Also, if you can make sure when you do that, if you can please mention that you have been on either the FX Street, the live session, or you've caught the recording afterwards. As long as you put FX Street in the box there, we'll be able to assist you with access to exclusive levels within the private members live trading room via www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com to make an application form. And just to break it down for you in terms of what you get access to at the Gold and Silver Club by becoming a member, well, whether you're a new trader, you're looking to develop a solid understanding of the markets and fast track your results, or even if you're an experienced trader but you just want to take your trading to that next level, the private members live trading room is definitely something to consider. You get access to live trading room webinars. You can watch the Gold and Silver Club expert traders analyze the markets in front of you, picking out profitable trade setups, sharing exact entry, exit points, profit, stop loss targets, as well as walk you through live trade ideas. You get access to notifications via email, SMS, alerting you when to enter into positions. All of those are sent out in advance notice with trade management updates too. And you get access to our week ahead reports, our week ahead trading plan, and our commodity research and market insights. So that is exclusive proprietary trading research to give you a boost in your win rate and ensure you are getting on the right side of trades, ensure that you are positioned perfectly to get an edge in the commodity markets. So essentially you get access to exclusive weekly live trading room webinars, live trade setups, real-time trade notifications, details of where to enter, exit on your entries for each positions, as well as the stop loss on each of the trades. We just share with you exactly what we are doing. Weekly trading plan with a watch list of trade ideas for the week ahead, live trade support to help you through each trade, and institutional level trading research and commodity insights to give you the ultimate edge in the markets. Okay, so again, to get exclusive access to our private members live trading room, just go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. And again, if you can just mention that you have come across this via FX Street, that would be perfect, guys. Okay, so with that, all the best. Have a fantastic day, good trading, and we'll speak to you all very soon. Thanks, guys. Take care. And of course, very much look forward to working with those of you who will be making an application and joining us at the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, take care, guys. All the best. Bye-bye.